Hey, good morning, guys. Time for the morning drive. I appreciate you joining me. It is, I don't know if you can see it out my window, but it is as thick as pea soup here. The fog in Panama City Beach, I mean, I can't see more than 50 yards in front of me. It is really a thick fog. So it's probably going to make the drive today a little bit slower than normal because you got to be careful. I mean, I cannot even see the cars coming towards me until like, boom, I just seen this car here and it's just passing me. I mean, it's thicker than it's ever been here, so it's pretty scary. But anyway, good morning to you, or good evening, wherever you're watching from. And I appreciate you joining me and kind of sticking with me for a morning drive. This is kind of where I get a chance to kind of think out loud as my day gets started, and it's I want to go on this morning. The first thing I want to do is I want to say thanks. Yesterday when I was doing the morning and the afternoon stream, I was telling you guys how much I really appreciate you, watching the show and helping me build this stream. And I was telling you that the followers that I needed, on Twitch to monetize and to be able to go up to like the next level, you got to have at least 50 followers. And just on the morning drive and the afternoon drive, I had 40 followers that morning, but when I got home that afternoon, I had like 43. So there was 3 extra followers. I appreciate you guys for doing that because it puts me one step closer. And I've got, unfortunately, I can't like pool all the followers. I stream to a lot of different platforms like Mixer and YouTube and Periscope and Stream Me, and so I streamed all these different platforms, and I can't really pool all of the people that follow or subscribe on the different channels. I can't like pool them all over on Twitch and kind of share that. So that's kind of a bummer, but just at least getting closer on Twitch and like Mixer, I think I have almost 40 on there too, and so I really appreciate your follows, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys tune in and watch the morning drive or the afternoon drive or even the 7 o'clock stream. Last night I was just going to go for maybe a half hour or an hour because, I'm a new streamer, so building a stream is, it's a grind, guys. I'm telling you. So I've been watching a lot of the new guys, a lot of the new girls, a lot of the folks that are brand new to streaming, just getting into it. I've been watching your streams as well to try and see what you're doing and what, find out really what people want in a stream. And I've looked at a lot of the successful streamers, and yeah, it is a grind. So I appreciate the fact that you actually follow me, and it helps build my following, the base that I have. So it gets me one step closer on Twitch to actually being able, and even on Mixer. I guess Mixer I can get embers and sparks and all that. Matter of fact, I have which I didn't even know. One of you guys one day in the chat was telling me about the sparks on Mixer, and come to find out I have like 500,000 of these things. And so I've been anytime I go to Mixer, I've been giving them out like they're candy because of course I want to kind of pay it forward and give what I can to the other folks that I like. But when I found out the other day that, or last night I guess, that I had those extra 3 followers, I thought I definitely should say thanks because I do appreciate it. It's one of those things, you have so many choices of people to follow. It's good to know that, you appreciate a new streamer that's just trying to kick something off and get something going. And last night, I was really surprised. As I said, we went well over 2 hours. I think we were almost 2.5 hours. And one of the guys in the stream was Taylor, and he has a Facebook. He actually has a Facebook stream that he does. It was, if I can remember now, it was Tasting with Taylor, I think is the name of it. And it's he does food reviews. And I went last night after I got off the stream and I checked out his funny. I mean, I really enjoyed. Matter of fact, shout out to you, Taylor. It was a great stream you have. I really enjoyed it. And he does a lot of the food reviews of even fast food restaurants, and really great channel if you get a chance to check him out. But he was with me last night in chat, and some other new folks were there, and I really appreciate the participation because that's what makes the channel fun. And when you can, you get a lot of people in there that just, really enjoy spending time and chatting about. And the nice part is we chatted about pretty much everything. And now one of the things that came out of it, I can't even count how many, the umpteenth time. I've gotten emails from you guys. I always tell you can send me emails, and a lot has been said. When I first started this channel back in January, I've only been doing this since January, so I'm being new. It's it is what it is. But when I first put it out there, I picked a name that was just kind of threw something out there that I was interested in at that time. And back in January, I've shared with you guys that. For the better part of my life, I have never, ever followed politics. I just never have. And I thought back in January, hey, I really need to get into the swing of things and really start paying more attention now that basically most of my life, I kept my head down. I just focused on the ball and made sure that I raised my kids properly, that they got good education, that they did well in school, didn't get mixed up in drugs, and I worked hard, to make sure that, you took care of the priorities in life. You keep your priorities straight, God, family, work, and hopefully everything works out for you. So that's what I focused on. I didn't focus on, matter of fact, since I was 18 years old, you guys know if you've been watching, I haven't cast a vote in any election, even though I'm registered always. But every time I go to vote and I think I'm ready to do it, I get a bad taste in my mouth from the candidates. I get a bad taste in my mouth from the legislation they want to pass, so I just don't. Now, I did serve my country. I did 8 years in the Army and military intelligence. I served during Desert Storm. So I love my country, and I think voting, you should always vote. But I would never compromise my principles or my integrity to vote for someone or something that I didn't believe in wholeheartedly. And of course, that's why in January I thought, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and focus on politics and really learn. So when I threw the channel up, it was kind of geared towards politics because that's where I wanted to kind of learn about. I was hoping I'd get an audience of folks that would really help me learn about, and I mean, I told you guys, I've told the story before, I literally found out Donald Trump was president when my brother called me on the phone. He's like, hey man, you know who's president? I said, no. He goes, you don't know who won the election? I said, no, who won? He goes, Donald Trump's the president now. And I was like, oh wow, that's cool, man. I said, I've watched The Apprentice. That's a good show. I watched the first season. I liked it. So I says, and he's a businessman, so he'll make some good deal. He'll do good, So that's kind of how I found out. But I never, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Hillary because I didn't feel that the integrity of either of them were something that I could stand behind. So, but I wanted to follow it. But as I got into it, I watched this thing with, oh God, what was the guy's name? The one who they drugged through the mud. I almost want to say, no, what's his name? You guys know what I'm talking about, the one that was going up for Supreme Court, and they the Democrats drug him through the mud and tried to say he was this terrible guy, and oh man. Anyway, when I watched that, and then I started really, I couldn't talk, I just couldn't deal with it. I was like, you know what? I don't have the stomach for this because the system is so messed up. I never realized it. I never realized how corrupt, how manipulative. I mean, all those nasty things that people say about our politics are true. I mean, it was just amazing that I could even stomach it for as long as I did. But anyway, by the time I threw the channel out there for that, that week or two, and it had already started gaining some followers, and I just didn't have the stomach for the politics. So I've kind of driven off of that into just a very free-flowing, fun channel that I enjoy. But the thing is, and this is one of the things I found out last night, once again, the POV America, the logo and the name of the channel, it sounded like one of my guys last night said, says, yeah, I clicked on you, I thought you were like some kind of conservative politics show, and I just don't like watching that stuff. so I never clicked on it. But he enjoyed last night. You know, we were talking. He had a great time, but he thought I was a political show, and he suggested changing the name. And I've been, you guys, if you've been watching the streams, you know I've really struggled with this for a long time, because I do want to change the name. And, you know, even my theme song, that I had a guy that wrote a theme song for the show about politics and everything, and great song, excellent song, did a great job. I mean, and sang it and played it, but it's not where I want to be. It's not really who I am. Well, we talk about politics from time to time. We'll talk about stuff like that. It's not. I don't want to make that the core focus of my stream. So that was kind of last night. After I got off, I spent a lot of time trying to think, and I believe now, I'll make the official announcement. I believe now I have come up with a name that it's nothing fancy. It's nothing. But I do have a name for the stream I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to work a little bit on the logo and the theme song for the new stream that hopefully will be a little bit more fun, jovial, you know, to where people will understand we're not a politics show. So I think that's going to be something I'm going to work on a little bit later this afternoon. And before the 7 o'clock stream, I'll try and come up with something. But I do believe that I finally committed to changing the name and putting something new out there. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you keep coming by, and if you're watching now and if you're not a follower of the show, I really would. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it when you go on Twitch and you follow me, or you're on Mixer and you follow, or you subscribe on YouTube. All that means a ton to me. Now, a couple things I found over the last few days, for all this time, I always assumed I was streaming to Facebook. I always thought I was. I thought that was one of the streams I was streaming to, and I'll be honest, it really frustrated me to find out the other day that I wasn't. Now, I'm not a huge Facebook user. My wife is, my daughter is, my son is. So that's of course why I'm on there, is because it's family and it's the co-workers I work with. It's my family, my friends. That's why I'm on there, just like everyone else. But I don't spend a fraction of the time on there that a lot of the people I know do. I just don't. I mean, I like the platform, but I'm just not there as much. But I still wanted to stream because I figured it would give me another way to reach my friends and family, and just they can share my day or what I'm going through. So I thought I was streaming to this platform, and I wasn't. So I go and I check my emails and that, and come to find out, the pages that I had set up, Facebook said, hey, there's something going on, send us your picture, so we can verify your account. There was all these, and I thought, what is going on? I've had this account for years and never had a problem, but as soon as I started doing a live stream to it, they basically shut the account down. And I'm going, it really upset me to where I was like, oh my, I wasn't going to fix it, but I went to my regular account, because I had actually created a new Facebook account specifically for the stream, and then found out that so basically I didn't even create a new one. I just started streaming to my original channel, and I didn't create a page or anything. I just put it out there on my main channel. We'll see if it works. I'll find out today if it actually gets out there and starts streaming. I thought Facebook Live, I'll be able to see. Hopefully, guys, if you have Facebook, or if you're on my Facebook, you'll be able to see my stream now. And I have a lot of my coworkers are on there. Of course, I'm sure they'll all poke fun at me. They'll all say, "Hey, saw you," blah, whatever. But I do appreciate you guys. I do the stream in the morning. I do the stream in the afternoon. So for those of my family and friends that are on Facebook, I'll apologize ahead of time, because sometimes I vent, and sometimes I can't put it all out there, guys. Don't really care who sees it. So anyway, a lot of fun. So that was one of the things, and another frustrating thing that I found out was the bits on Twitch. The whole time, you know, it's one thing to have somebody donate, and they'll kick you $1 or $2. They'll give you a tip for your stream. But the bits was a big thing that I had kept saying, you know, feel free to send me bits. And, well, I'm getting these messages going, I can't send you the bits. And I'm like, no, yeah, you can do it. They'll let you, you know. Well, what I didn't understand when they said they can't send them to me, what they meant was they can't send them to me. It wasn't, I guess you have to have, you know, when you give bits to people on Twitch, there's a little icon, a little image that you click on so you can give bits. Well, apparently that was where I found out that Twitch, you had to have 50 followers to be able to do that. And I was like, well, I have 50 followers. I got 40 here, I got 40 there, I got 30 here. I have like several hundred followers already on the different platforms. And because I use a service called Restream that, you know, goes out to these different platforms, I was assuming that, you know, hey, it's like a pool of users, or, you know, but it's not. Every platform, of course, is their own individual platform. So, you know, being a technology guy, I should have learned that and known that, but I don't follow, you know, I don't really get involved with, you know, every day looking at how many followers I have, because I always like to think when I stream, I kind of do it. It's very cathartic for me it's kind of a form of relaxation, and I always stream assuming that I'm not streaming to anybody. I always assume that I'm the only person just talking to myself, and it makes it easier to kind of put it out there and go through my day. But I really do. There's times where, you know, you get thinking in your head, and being able to do the live stream kind of helps you put it out there, and it makes you kind of helps you come to terms with whatever you're dealing with. So I do love that, and that's you know, if you've been watching my stream for a while, you've seen some of the chats and everything, and for the longest time, you know, I had people I would look, and that's one of the things I've tried to stop doing. I've tried, because I could look and you could see how many people are watching your stream, and I would be sitting there and I would have all these people watching the stream, but nobody chatting. And it's very frustrating because you're kind of like, well, what are you guys waiting for? Dive in, jump in. Let's talk about movies or UFOs or something crazy. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about politics. I don't care. But you got all these viewers, but nobody's chatting. And for the longest time, it would bother me. Excuse me. And I was like, well, why aren't they engaging? Why aren't they chatting? And then I come to find out, you know, a lot of the folks that are watching you are doing so in the background, either at work. Like I had one guy who was at work, but they also work in different parts of the world. So, you know, here again, I had to get used to the fact that when I stream, I'm not just streaming locally to, you know, Panama City Beach. It's globally. I had people from, you know, the other day I had people from England, people from Brazil, Australia, Germany, the Netherlands, all around the world that are watching the stream, and, you know, and then they start to engage. I forget that it's a global thing because it doesn't feel global. It does. It really truly brings everybody closer to where and people will talk about, like yesterday there, Miko, I think, was the one guy we were talking about. He was telling me about his, you know, country, what they're going through with Brexit, and how he was really into politics. We had a great conversation, but it was 3 a.m. in the morning there. So anyway, I actually around 4:30 a.m. his time, I ended up ending the stream after we were on for well over, I think, 3 hours, and I ended the stream at about 4:30 a.m. in the morning his time. And he said he had enough time to walk his dog and get ready for work because he had to go to work at 6. And that kind of boggles my mind sometimes, that I'm on at 7 o'clock at night and people are watching me from other parts of the world and their day is just getting started, you know. And so that was actually really cool to be able to talk with those guys. But so today, what I'm kind of hoping to get accomplished, during my lunch hour, I'll probably come out to the truck, and I might do a stream during lunch. I don't know, but otherwise I'll see you at 4 I'll do the 3:30 stream on the way back home. For those of you that are kind of new, do me a favor, follow, and you can kind of see what I do. I do a morning stream in the morning at 6:15 when I go in. I'm one of those sorry saps that has to work for a living, and I do that grind 9 to 5. Well, in my case, 7 to 3:30. But I also do a stream going home, 3:30 in the afternoon, and then Monday through Friday I do one at 7 o'clock. Another live stream at 7. So 3 times a day, I'm out there kind of grinding it, and that's where I'm learning from you guys. You're telling me what you enjoy. We had some, like last night, we got into movie. I'm a huge movie buff, so for me, I love business, I love technology, I love innovation. That's my background. That's what I've done. I've been a serial entrepreneur for decades. I've had a lot of great businesses, and even for patents, if you Googled my name in that, you'd see I've got almost a dozen global patents that are used by Eli Lilly, Pfizer Pharmaceutical, and so I really enjoy my life and what I've been able to do. But unfortunately, I lack focus. Because when I was growing up, your parents probably said the same thing. What do you want to do with your life? I never figured it out. I mean, I've kind of just been plodding along, doing whatever I want to do, with some limited degree of success in it. So it's kind of funny because I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Right now, for those of you guys that are out there watching and have been watching, I work at a prison. I'm an instructor. I teach computers. I teach people how to build them and tear them apart. A+ certification, networking, N+ certification, CompTIA. This is what I teach them. They're learning programming, Python. They're learning, it's just game design with Unity. So what I teach them, I'm hoping to make a small difference in these guys' life. I mean, I work with, it's a very high-stress job, and it's a very thankless job because, nobody really is there for most of the time to say thanks for what you do. You sure don't get really too much appreciation from the company you work for. It's kind of, you're just a number to them. You're just a body filling a slot. So you have to find the overall purpose of your job. You got to find something you enjoy, and reason you enjoy it. And I simply every day, I hope I have one student that when they exit my class and they get out, because I'm in a facility where they're all getting out relatively soon. They call it Camp Cupcake because it's a very relaxed environment. But you hope that these guys make a difference with their families, society in general. And that's kind of why I do what I do. I definitely don't do it for the money, although the money's nice, but it allows me, it affords me those finer things in life, like food, shelter, clothing, that's pretty much it. So that while it's nice to have money and to be able to spend some time, going to movies or having a little bit of entertainment, you definitely don't do this job for the money. Trust me when I say that. So you have to find some inner reason to do it. And I've been, I've kind of retired several times throughout my life where I was like, okay, that's it. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to become a bagger at Walmart or something, because you get so frustrated with things that happen in your life. You're just like, okay, what else can go wrong? We've all had that where it's just one thing after another goes wrong, and you're like, man, I'm getting dumped on. And I've been there. I mean, I have been in that dark place where you have that pity party and it looks hopeless. And even now, I'm so blessed to realize that, what? No matter how bad things are, no matter how terrible things are, they're always going to get better. And in my case, I've been very fortunate. I've had a few really good friends or, family members that have really been there when I needed them the most. And it's, and I can never repay them to the extent that I want to, but I still keep trying. But, it's funny, I was telling, I don't know if you guys were on the stream a while back, I was talking about, I had one person back where, this was years ago, that helped me out. It was really terrible. My mother had just died. I was going through a lot of terrible things, and this person helped me out. And for years, I've been trying to kind of repay that, and I haven't been able to. I think you get back to that point where I'm like, okay, I can really do something here that's going to matter, and then bad luck would happen. I'd be like, this is just, it's this never-ending type of challenge to just kind of put your life on track sometimes. And I've really come to accept the fact that there's some things you're just not in control of. Now, I'm a poor sap that loves to think I'm in control of everything. I just like that. I mean, my whole life, I've been the guy working and grinding and doing this. I built the house that I had. 5,000 square feet, and I was the big shot. I'm always the guy with the answers. I'm always the guy putting it together. So it's all me. Well, guess what, man? It's not. It's not always you. And there's sometimes, no matter how much you want to be in control, there are things in our lives we have no control over. I mean, I've been very blessed because my kids are, my son is a deputy officer. He's got a great job. He's going to school still full time. He wants to be an attorney, and he's grinding, and it makes me so proud. My daughter's in the medical field. She works in a field that she's happy in, and she's great at her job. And my kids never got mixed up with the bad crowd. They never got involved with the drugs, so I kept them out of that. And we don't. For the most part, as far as I know, they don't hate me, At least not when they come to you for money all the time, but no. But it's funny because those are the blessings that mean the most to me. It's not the money, and that's one of the things I've never done in my life, probably to my detriment. Probably, it was one of the things I probably should have done that I didn't do, is chase money. I never really chased after money. I really chased after the challenge of doing something new. And that's probably why streaming is so attractive to me, because it's new and it's fun, and you just get to kind of vent and just be who you are. So many different times, I go to work, I put on a different face when I go into work. I'm a different person. Even the people I work with, I'm not me to them. I'm not the same way I am outside of work. I'm a bit of a dick at times. I'm actually not. I'm not a great, because I have attitude. I have ego. I have all those things that are probably terrible in the workplace. But I work with such stupid people. Not really my immediate coworkers, but just in general, these people they believe it's better to just kowtow and not stand up for people, not stand up for your employees. They want to just be yes men, is that what they call it, or yes women? Yeah, they just, whatever, they agree. Whether it's right or wrong, they will never question authority. They will never question the situation for fear of losing their job. And I've always said, you know what? I would rather lose my job for doing my job or trying to do my job than to keep it and be doing it mediocre, just be mediocre in what I do. I want to be the best at everything I do, and if I don't understand something, I'm going to ask. I'm going to question it. If you tell me it's black, I'm going to say, I trust you, but verify that. How do I know it's black? That's just how I've always been. I trust but verify. And if you've been watching my stream at all, you understand that's just how I am. That it's not that I intentionally am a jerk to people, and I definitely don't know it all. I don't know everything. As my wife, 30 years, she'll tell you, matter of fact, she'll tell you without a blink of an eye that I know probably nothing, and I'm not right 95% of the time. The sad part about that statement is she's right. 95% of the time, I'm probably wrong about everything, but I put it out there because in my world, my reality, there's nothing I can fail at. I think life in general, man, so many people don't focus on the right things, and they don't understand that there's really nothing that you can't do. I always hear excuses, especially the guys, because I work in a prison, they love to have a pity party and woe is me, and this is my life, and they love to cast blame. Man, they blame their parents, their parole officers, the police that arrested them, the judges that sentenced them. They blame everybody else for what happened to them except for themselves, you know? And it's like, wait a minute, if you can't accept the fact that you are in complete charge of your own life and the mistakes you make, you got to take ownership of those and realize you made those mistakes, man, you're destined to fail every single time. So I just, you know, I'm all about owning it. Yeah, I have messed up way more in my life than I've ever succeeded. But I'm just very blessed to be able to say, look, I'm here. You know, I'm far blessed, more blessed than a lot of people. I have a job. I do have a roof over my head, even though we got hit with this hurricane. If you guys have been watching the stream, you know in October we got hit with this hurricane, this Cat 4, Cat 5, Michael. And of course, if you know where I live right on the Gulf of Mexico. I can walk out of my door and I go 60 paces, you know, 60 yards to the water's edge. And when that sucker was coming in, I was like, you know what? I knew I was going to lose everything. I knew it. I mean, and sure enough, you know, we lost everything. And it was just I started down that pity party. Woe is me. Oh my God, I lost everything. And I started down there again. But then I said, you know what? That's okay. It's not the first time in my life that I've had to start over with nothing. You know, I chose to live on the beach. I mean, when we came here I took this job. I moved from Georgia. I had a job there. I left there to come here. More money, but you know, it's in Florida, and I made enough money to be able to live on the beach. And we had a great landlord who she lives Virginia, West Virginia, somewhere there, and she's an awesome landlord. And we pay a fraction of what other people pay because we live on the beach. You know, I knew it was going to come, and I knew it was going to happen. And I take responsibility for that because we wanted to be there. Had I had to do it over, I would never. I mean, I don't know if you can look. Well, you can look around right now, and you can see the devastation that is still here in Panama City Beach. It still hasn't been cleaned up, and it's February. It was such devastation. I mean, my neighbor's roof flew off his house into my front of mine. I would never have stayed for that. You know, if I knew what a hurricane, you know, my mentality, because I'd never been through one, is just some wind and rain. I mean, what's the big deal? A little wind and rain. Yeah, it's a lot more than that. I found out that hurricanes spawn tornadoes and all this other stuff. So I've got some great footage, video of the hurricane, and you know, signs and buildings and houses being blown away, and you know, power lines coming down. Great video that, you know, was terrifying to take, but at the same time, I would never do it again. If a hurricane comes, I'm not staying on the beach. I don't know what I was thinking. Wind and rain, but yeah, it caused a lot of damage, and so that's kind of what it is. You know, you learn these things as you go through life, and it's not the first time for me. Guys, I'm coming up to work, and you guys know, if you watch the stream a lot, this is where I end up losing it once I go around this corner, and then my signal will go in and out a little bit here. But once I get parked, you know, I'll say goodbye, and we'll see how the rest of my day goes. As I said, I hope you're having a great evening or a great day, depending where you're watching. And I do thank you in the morning for coming through and watching my stream during the morning. And if you can, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on the stream that the platform that you're watching. It really helps me. It kind of motivates me to want to do better. And I do enjoy these streams. It is really therapeutic for me to be able to just kind of have some fun and put it out there, and be able to be me. This is just kind of who I am and how I am. I've been very blessed for a lot of this. And I'll probably lose you in about 3 seconds. It'll go choppy, because here Should be back. Yep, there we are. Yeah, whenever it says poor connection on my phone, I just kind of assume I've lost you for that, you know, that couple seconds there. But otherwise, I have a pretty decent signal here. And this is just on my phone. So what the stream you're watching, guys, anybody can do a live stream. And if you want to, it's one way to reach people and friends and family, but it's a great way to reach other folks, too, that just kind of enjoy doing the live streaming. So anyway, here I am. I'm at work right now, and everybody's kind of coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and I will say goodbye to you this morning, and I'll see you this afternoon at 3:30 at least. And we'll pick up, and I'll try and find out what's going on in the world today. And, wow, I got all kinds of parking spots. Must be a lot of people out sick today. Who knows? But anyway, folks, have a great morning. Have a blessed day, and I will check you out this afternoon. And be safe, be well.